Hello everyone and welcome to Road to Rust. Sorry as 1,000 crows fly over the top of me, but today I am back with another video. I have rescued yet another car and I'm rapidly running out of space to do this hobby. So I'm going to show it to you now. I think I might have bitten off a bit more than I can chew. It is a 1983 Mazda 323 with a slightly different gold coloured door. That's the colour that the car should be. Now, this car actually is kind of important to me. As a boy, my whole life, this car has been in it. This belonged to a teaching assistant at my primary school, and she always had it parked on the drive. And as I said, ever since I can remember, she has had this car. And very recently, I caught wind that it had come up for sale. And the long and the short of it, it was about to go around the banger track. And I just couldn't let that happen. So I have clubbed together with the family and we've bought this car, and I am now storing it at my parents' house, which is very useful because it means that I have managed to evade my storage problem by dumping it onto my mum and dad. Anyway, let's have a look around the car. So, as I said, it's a 1983 Mazda 323, and inside, look how brown it is. That's so 1980s, isn't it? It has got pegs holding the choke out, which I think is brilliant. And yeah, it's very clean inside. It's got a lot of things about it that I do really like. These dials, look, they've got such a nice action to them, and I don't know, it smells like an old car, and I couldn't say no, because I bought it blind and I just had it shipped down. It was a case of do that or it's going to end up around the track, and as I said, I couldn't let that happen. But what a charming little car it is. 84,000 miles. The clutch was slipping, but I think my dad's done some adjustment and that now works just. This original stereo, I've not actually turned that on. Is it? Oh no, maybe. Oh, hang on, there's another one. What the? There's a second one up here? I don't know. I can't really. Two stereos. Weird. So yes, with its two stereos, stuff like this though. How nice does that sound? And I do just think this car deserves to live. Now, it's got all of its MOT history, so we know what the mileage is, and when it's been done all the way back into the 80s. I love this perforated headlining as well. But this channel wouldn't be called Road to Rust unless the car had some rust. And yeah, here's where it starts. So we think what's been happening is the rain's been coming in here, and then it has been, oh no, that's not how you open the boot. I'm gonna need the key. And then it's gone down inside the boot and rotten it out, and this is the state of the back of it. She's obviously been having this welded up, but the job has been done very badly because it's done nothing to protect it. Luckily, these integral parts are all still there, but well, the other side I suppose is slightly better, but still pretty bad. It's all been welded before. Look, you can see it's got obviously rotting out in the same old spots. There's a little hole, but what can you do with these, because you can't get these panels? So we'll have to find a way to get that done up. Luckily, I do have a man who does work on cars that I've recently made friends with, but now I look at it, I can see the reason why this was a candidate for the track. As much as I don't want it to be, I really hope that we haven't bitten off more than we can chew. This just, yeah, it's not pretty, is it? Look at the rust in the bottom of the doors. I mean, I know that you can cut these pieces off and put new bits on, but how far do you go? Let's have a look quickly under the bonnet. Ugh. I really like this because the action on the the action on the bonnet's brilliant. It opens up backwards and then locks itself. See this? I guess that's probably its original colour, isn't it? It is the same colour blue that Mazda's logo is. But the engine isn't too bad. All of the stuff in here looks fine. These don't look rotten. Nothing's rotten on the back. Tiny little battery. That looks like it should be for a moped. But the front of it doesn't seem too bad, which gives me some hope that the back can be saved. It's such an awkward car, isn't it? What do you do when the car is fine up to there? I think you just have to look at it as it's 80% all right. And this is where you end up building the costs in life. Look at that, it's on its original number plates as well, a favourite thing of mine. Obviously, PR is Bournemouth way, where I grew up. And yeah, it's a lovely car, but it's a very ambitious job. I just hope we can save it, I really do. See, these are starting to get a bit rotten, but this car has been in use. It's always been used. It's never been off the road, so it's showing the signs of wear that you'd expect for a car that is now 40 years old. And what's really annoying about that is that 40 years old now means it's tax and MOT exempt, but that exemption only runs each January, so we can't apply for that status until January, and I don't think it's going to last until then. Oh look, this front piece is a bit rotten too. Mind you though, it doesn't look like it's... No, it's not gone through, but that would need some attention. Yeah, this one is... I don't know how... I think we need to temporarily sort something out with this. Maybe just even put a cover on it. It's obviously getting in there somewhere, isn't it? Because underneath... I'll show you, the boot is all rotten out under there, look. And that's obviously helping the water get in the boot. It's got nice runway budget tyres on it. And looking from the outside and seeing all that rust, some of it does look very terminal, doesn't it? If there's anybody watching this who has any parts, knowledge, can help get this thing back on the road, please do, because as I said, the whole thing about this channel is, as much as I go around and I look at abandoned cars, I want to save the ones that I can. And yeah, I've bought this with my heart rather than my head, but I think all my car purchases I probably do that. But yeah, I mean, what was this even ever a part of? It is pretty dire. And in fact, on that note, I have an appeal. YouTubers who ask their audience to give them money through Patreon, I think, are absolute bottom feeders, because doing videos of abandoned things is a hobby, and if you can't afford to do it, then you shouldn't do it. However, I have now set up a Patreon because saving cars obviously costs a lot of time and money, but it also costs things like storage costs, people moaning at you for having untaxed vehicles everywhere. All sorts of costs come when you do this, and none of them are particularly low. So if you can give a couple of quid, please do. All the money that comes on the Patreon goes directly into saving the cars, as does any money that I make from the videos. I do not take a profit out of it. It all goes to saving old stuff, which is what I want to do, because as I always say, every old car saved is one Tesla less made, and this one needs to be saved. It is teetering on the brink of being MOT exempt. However, that is not a reason to neglect it further. It needs that work done. So yeah, obviously I will find a way to do it, but if you could give any help, please do. And on that note, thank you very much for watching. Please make sure that you like and subscribe for more. Here is a link to the Patreon. I will see you next week on Road to Rust.